Something that has happened that I found within the whole realm of healing that sparked something in me that said, I need to do an extra show. I need to do one now so that I can do this to help clear out the earth, clear out the world, clear out humanity on certain aspects so that things can get going. The reason for that is I found a clearing that I started doing, and when you're doing this energy modality thing, you're always looking for the most efficient way, the best way to get in and find these problems, because ultimately the dark side, the evilness that is all around us, the duality, has got ways to infiltrate and sneak around, and it knows about people like me and other healers. They know about us, so they find ways to trick us so that we can't find them or we can't identify them. And what I did, Bob, is I was able to find the door to get in to actually find out what is going on. The reason I'm doing this now on the radio itself, the frequencies actually enhance the energies that I run with my tools when I do healing. So I thought, this is a fantastic platform. Now globally, when everybody around the world, and I look at the chat room right now, and there's people from all over the world in the chat room, when your computer is open and you tune into the show, the energies that I broadcast are going to filter through the entire planet, the entire world. Quite often people will get together and they will do a group session and they'll run intent and energy to clear something out. But because you're in one room and you're trying to affect the whole world, it's going to take a long time for those energies to process. It just came to me in a spark of light. If we do it on the radio, everybody's got their computer open in different cities around the world. It doesn't have to be everybody. These energies are going to get out. Now, what these energies are, there is something called the time matrix. And if you consider that we're all a slave to time, everything by the clock, everything is what time is it, and I need to be there by a certain time. We're basically a slave to time. So the time matrix is a body of energy that was placed there by dark components in order to control us through time. So what I have found is that there is a group of gods. Now if you consider all of the different gods, the Egyptian gods, Greek gods, all these different god realm, of course there's the god of love and light. He's not involved with this. He's a good guy. He's on our side. All these other gods are causing a lot of problems, and basically they're using humanity as entertainment. And I've said this before. A lot of people have heard me say this. So what they're doing is they're causing all of the terrorist problems. They're involved with all the famines. They're involved with all the disruption of life with health problems. If you watch, shows like TLC or Discovery Channel, and they've got documentaries about people with very rare and extreme health problems, how can somebody get a health problem like that? This is a very, very big part of this God realm having a big joke with humanity. And I think I've found a way around it. And the reason I know I found a way around it is that when I do these clearings on my clients, I get better results. So for me, everything that I do and everything I talk about is always proof in the pudding. I do have rock solid proof that these things do work. So we're going to start this by taking the time matrix of the planet out of the second dimension. Now, the second dimension is a lower level of energy where bad things happen. We're going to take the time matrix of the planet and shift it into the fifth dimension. Yes, the fifth dimension is here. It's ready to access as soon as clearings like this happen, and then it's going to make it a lot easier for things to transition in. So here we go. I'm going to take my wonderful pyramid. Now, there might be a little bit of dead air, which is not a good radio scenario, but it is what it is. So here we go. Let's get started. Okay, let's disconnect the time matrix of the planet Earth from the second dimension. Now, as I'm doing this, if you're listening, you might be getting some shifting. You might follow along with it, and that's quite all right. It's all good for you. Disconnect the Earth's time matrix from the second dimension. Okay, that is done. Now we're going to shift the time matrix of the Earth into the fifth dimension. And that has been done. In a few minutes, you might feel a wave of energy come over you, which is a good thing. Now, what we're going to do is remove the 6 God curse. There are 6 specific gods out of this god realm that are causing havoc. Number 1 is King Tut. Number 2 is someone named Karail. Sheba from Sumerian mythology is there. Lucifer, of course. Another one named Issa, and Horus. Now, if you take the name Horus and you spell it out, it means hours. So there's a time component. So let's lift and delete, please, the 6 god curse from the time matrix of the planet Earth. And that is lifted and gone. We lift and delete the 6 god curse from the entire planet Earth. And that is complete. So what that just did, if I wanted to go in and do specific clearings on the planet, the doors are now wide open. There's nothing in the way. There's no veils. There's no kind of crud, no dark energies, no influence of consciousness that is in the way. So it makes things a heck of a lot easier. And about 4 clients I worked on today, when I did this, finally I found their health problem and it went away immediately. It was a real eye-opening experience when I started doing this. So we just did the planet Earth. Now we're going to take humanity, all humans, animals, and plant life on this planet, disconnect their time matrix from the 2nd dimension, and shift it over into the 5th dimension. If you're listening, you may feel a little twinge happen, a little shift. There's an old saying in the energy world, shift happens. Shift happens. There we go. Shift just happened. Now let's go into the time matrix of humanity, the animal kingdom, and plant life, and remove all 6 god curses from the time matrix. Send it all to sanctuary and lift and delete 6 god curses from humanity, all humans, animal kingdom, and plant life. Send it all to sanctuary. So that is now all lifted. Okay, that is now all out of the way. The doors are open. Now I'm going to start getting specific on some things that I'm going to remove this 6 god curse from. Now, if there's anybody in the chat room who have a question, you can feel free and chime in.
Got your back. By the way, anybody calling in right now, and if you want to call in, use 1-843-300-1399.
We're going to start with the big one. We're going to remove the 6 god curse from ISIS. And anybody from ISIS, you want to come and knock on my door, I'm going to knock on your door. Here we go. Lift and delete the 6 god curse from the time matrix of ISIS, please. Lift and delete the 6 god curse from ISIS. So now what that means, now of course these guys can still run around and shoot their guns and knock over monuments and do whatever they do, because you still have your free will. What this might do is eventually, and hopefully sooner than later, start to change the perception of all the people doing this within this club. Let's call it a club, I don't know. Within this group of people, it might start to change your perception, and they might come to realization that, hey, you know what? I don't feel so good about taking a knife and cutting, blah, blah, blah. We're not going to go there. So hopefully that's going to start to happen. And to everyone in ISIS, I send you love. I send you blessings. I send you peace. And I send you love and light. Beautiful. Okay. We are now going to do the 6 god curse out of Boko Haram. Remove all 6 god curses from the time matrix of Boko Haram. Send it all to sanctuary and remove 6 god curses from Boko Haram. And the same thing, they might come to realization, hey, we got to stop doing this, it's not right. Now, another big one, the Vatican. Lift and delete 6 god curses from the time matrix of the Vatican. And lift and delete 6 God curses from the Vatican. Now, of course, there's going to be people out there who may disagree with what I'm doing. And that's okay. I got nothing against people having an opinion. The worst thing that's going to happen here is things are going to get better. That's the worst that's going to happen. Nobody's going to die. Nobody's going to be brought up on charges. Nobody's going to be exposed or anything like that. Things are just going to settle down. So the worst thing that's going to happen is things are going to get better. Now, we're going to work on a good old friend of mine I affectionately call Lucy. We're going to remove 6 God curses from Lucifer. Lift and delete all 6 God curses from Lucifer's time matrix. And remove and lift 6 God curses from Lucifer. Now, with Lucifer, we want to cut all ties with the planet Earth. Cut all cords and connections. Cut all ties forward and backward, time, space, dimension, density, and universe with Lucifer and this lovely planet we call home. Send him off into sanctuary. Goodbye, Lucifer. I did that with Horus the other day on my last show, and it did make a difference when I was using my pendulum and testing people for health problems. It did make a difference, so that's why I'm doing this. Now, here's a good one. We're going to remove 6 God curses from the internet and delete all 6 God curses from the time matrix of the internet, or what I affectionately call the interweb. That is lifted. Lift all 6 God curses from the internet.
You know, you have a question on here. I could just stick it in because you're doing exactly.
Let her rip. Let her rip. What is it?
It says, "Is it possible to bind those gods somehow to prevent them from placing another curse?"
What we've done by taking the time matrix out of the second dimension, they no longer have access to us. So that's the whole concept of this, is that we've disconnected from them. And so now the contact with our consciousness and within our physicality and our etheric bodies is no longer there. Yes, they are bound, but we're just using a different way, different words to do it. There's a lot of people who would use some different phrases like bind them with love and light, so they can't send consciousness out, put them in a mirror, put them in a bubble. There's a lot of different concepts that you can use to stop this from happening. This is the concept I'm using. But if you have suggestions, I'm open to them. I'm always open to learn new things too. So thank you for the question.
She says thanks. And by the way, Sheila, if you have another question like that, the number is 843-300-1399. Call me.
Okay, let's do another one here. We're going to work on the junk DNA within our bodies. Okay, this is very important. So we're going to remove the junk DNA. Remove the time matrix of the junk DNA from the second dimension. Remove all 6 God curses from the time matrix of the junk DNA within our bodies of humanity, the animal kingdom, and plant life. Now remove all 6 God curses from our junk DNA. Okay, let's do another one. We're going to remove all 6 God curses from the time matrix of universal occult rituals. This is a big one. I'll explain that in a second. Remove it from all universal occult rituals. So the occult rituals, spells, occult rituals are all basically why humanity has got extreme health problems. That's it. Now, when the God realm sends down an order for something to happen, it comes down in the form of a curse or a spell. And that comes along something called negative green vertical, which is like a highway. That's the connection between the God realm and humanity. These curses come down through there, and they attach to us, and then they start to take effect. So we've just cleared that out. Now we're going to clear out hell. Disconnect hell from the second dimension. Disconnect its time matrix from the second dimension. And clear out all 6 God curses from hell's time matrix. And clear and lift 6 God curses from hell. That was a big one. That one hurt.
Ooh. You know, we got you're on 2 channels right now. You're on channel 1 and channel 3. Cassandra on channel 3 says, "Hi Chris, awesome work. Clear it all. I've been feeling who made up time." Then she says, "Causing stress and causing havoc in people." Thank you.
You're most welcome. Thank you so much. Okay, let's work on the Illuminati. Okay, and you know who you are. Here we go. Lift all 6 God curses from the time matrix of the Illuminati. And lift all 6 God curses from the Illuminati. Send it all to sanctuary. Now here's another big one. Lift all 6 God curses from the time matrix of the World Bank. World Bank. And lift all 6 God curses from the World Bank, including the Rothschilds. Very nice. Okay. Lift all 6 God curses from the time matrix of all royal families. And lift all 6 God curses from the royal families. Very nice. Whew. We're on a roll. Remove all 6 God curses from the time matrix of the worldwide judicial system. Judicial system. That's a big one. Yuck. And remove and lift all 6 God curses from the worldwide judicial system. This is a big one. For some reason, this is a big one. Yeah, because I have to pay a parking ticket, that's why. Okay, anybody else want to chime in?
They got something here. What happened to our consciousness after Chris does all these clearings?
What's going to happen after these clearings are done, if it affects you, if these problems are within you and they're affecting your consciousness, what's going to happen is you're going to just kind of feel a little bit more enlightened, a little bit more awake, a little bit more, hey, I think I see a little clearer. I think I feel a little more at ease about things. There's going to be a subtle change. It's not going to be a big light switch being flicked. For some people it may be if these problems are causing you a lot of havoc in your life. But ultimately it's going to be, I think I see what this guy's talking about. And it's just going to be more of a realization of things. And that's what the whole consciousness shift with this whole 5th dimension thing is. It's just a realization about things, bringing to light a lot of things that are around you that are causing you personally problems. You're going to start to discover little things about yourself. You may find that you do things a little differently, a little bit more beneficial to your well-being. You might drop some bad habits. You might be more joyful. You might find more peace and love within everything that you see. And you're not going to run around picking flowers and singing Kumbaya, but things just might seem a little bit more easier to deal with in day-to-day life for you. That's basically what I feel on a day-to-day basis. And I also see it within my work. When I'm using my pendulum, every day is more and more progression with helping people with their health problems. So there is validity to this, and that's the only reason I'm out here doing this, because I know it works. Okay, let's go one further. Governments. Those governments. Here we go. Lift all 6 God curses from the time matrix of all governments worldwide. And lift all 6 God curses from all governments. Send it all into sanctuary. Okay, here's another one. Pharmaceuticals. Naughty, naughty. Here we go. Lift all 6 God curses from the time matrix of the pharmaceutical companies, executives, and pharmaceuticals itself. And lift all 6 God curses from the pharmaceutical executives, pharmaceuticals. That was a big one. That one hurt too. Whew. Oil companies. Oil companies. Lift, delete all 6 God curses from the time matrix of oil companies and its executives. And lift and delete all 6 God curses from the oil companies and executives. Very nice. This is going really good. I'm starting to heat up. What are you feeling over there, Bob? Are you noticing any changes?
I always get, I tell you the honest to God truth, like everybody that's listening right now, and that they're feeling something because they're listening to the show now. When you're on with 3 or 4 people that are clearing energy on this show, and you're sitting in my chair, oh, I'm so clear.
It does ramp up, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, no two ways about it. But you know what? I tell you something, though. The people that are hearing that when the show and that is done, it does hit the archive. Next to the archive will be a copy of this show. I want to remind everybody, just because we're not there and we're not breathing doesn't mean you're not going to be helped by the energy coming through that tape. So all you have to do is go on the archive, click on it, and you can hear this show and the energy that's going to be sent to you while you're listening.
Yeah, whenever you listen to this program, I think more people tend to listen to the podcast because people are at work right now, people are having supper, and people will listen later on to the podcast. That energy is still going to be there and it's still going to happen. So that's the beautiful thing about this. It's going to be a revolving door of clearings on humanity, on the globe, as long as it's on your server, Bob.
Mm-hmm. And the same thing, well, it came from here, it came from you, so.
Any other wonderful questions?
Yeah, Yvonne Baker sent in one. I have heard that or about ISIS are not real, but created to create and spread fear in us humanity. Now it says, that was Dr. Richard Bartlett during his Matrix seminar in Toronto, and made some sense to me. Inside me it feels yes from my subconsciousness. And now you are saying the same. What I noticed, no news show them, just talking, and don't watch news. In other words, what she's trying to say in that sentence is she just don't watch TV. Yes.
And there you go. But if you want to stay away from it all, get off the grid, yeah. Don't watch the news, and even a lot of the internet news sources, the news that nobody wants to report. Even then, how much stock do you put into that? How true is it? Do you know it's a credible source? So you do have to feel with your heart, is this the right thing for me to be watching? Let's get into tobacco companies. Tobacco companies. Remove the 6 God curse from the time matrix of tobacco companies. And remove the 6 God curse from the tobacco companies. Street drugs and the dealers. Lift the 6 God curse from the time matrix of street drugs and the dealers. And lift the 6 God curse from the street drugs and the dealers. So that's about all I got that I wanted to really hit on. I think we hit the big ones. Oh, wait, hold on. I need to go back here, back to the 6 gods. And we're going to cut cords and connections with the earth and King Tut, and send King Tut into sanctuary. Cut all cords and connections with Kerail, and send Kerail into sanctuary from the earth. Remove Sheba. Remove Sheba from the earth. Cut all cords, connections, and send Sheba into sanctuary. Lucifer. Oh, you son of a gun, Lucy. You're out of here. Cut all cords and connections with Lucifer. Send Lucifer from the planet into a sanctuary. Isa. Send Isa. Cut all cords, connections with Isa from the earth and send him into sanctuary. Now Horus. This is the big one. Horus is known as the Antichrist. Send Horus into ether. Okay, we did that already and he's gone. Good. Okay, now we're going to take Satan. Cut all cords and connections with Satan and the earth. Send them into sanctuary. And Mr. D, send the devil, cut cords, connections with the devil and the earth, and send them into sanctuary. And I think that's all we want to do for tonight, Bob. I'm starting to hurt. Clearings that we just did are going to facilitate the whole consciousness shift, the whole vibration of the earth being able to do what it needs to do. So if you're an energy worker, if you're doing healing work, and all of a sudden you find that your work gets a little easier, this could very well be the reason why things are changing. If you're one of the many people that have a club or a group of people that you do meditations with to assist the world for healing, you may find that things are a little different. There's a little less resistance when you do your meditations and you send your energy. Doing this energy work just might fix a problem. Wouldn't that be a wonderful thing, Bob, if this did, in its own little way, help expedite the whole consciousness shift and help humanity?
I think it softens it a little bit.
I think it will.
Yeah, it softens it a little bit, so it's more, how would you say it, open toward more consciousness.
And that's what it's all about. And the consciousness we're talking about is the awakening, the realization that spirituality, not religion, has a lot more truth to it, a lot more validity as far as what is really going on out there. So, you know what, anybody, if you got any questions at all about what we did tonight, about anything at all, you want to have a little chinwag, feel free and send me an email. My email's on my website, chriskehler.net.
They want to know what your YouTube channel is.
YouTube channel is Chris Kehler /YouTube. Just do a search of my name in YouTube. I've got a couple hundred videos in there, a whole lot of good radio show interviews, and lots of little tidbits of videos.
Sounds good to me.
Yes.
Chris, thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Blessings, everyone. Chris Kehler out.